What's up? It's Soo-hyun. I'm finally back with the Europe travel tips video that so many of you have been waiting for. Just thinking about traveling to Europe is exciting, right? But wait, there's something more important than your enthusiasm. It's your precious money. If you don't know this before you go to Europe, you could lose a lot of money. Warning sound effect. From taxi scams to ridiculous exchange rates to tourist trap restaurants that rip you off. But don't worry. Your travel buddy, Soo-hyun, will generously share real local tips that only the locals know. Just follow me. I'm going to share a ton of tips to make your European trip much cheaper and more fulfilling. Like and subscribe and keep your eyes peeled. Okay, first, the city of romance, France, especially Paris. The taxi scams are terrible. If you hail a taxi on the street, you'll get ripped off. You have to get a taxi from a taxi stand to get the normal fare. Young people in France use the Bolt or Captain app. Especially Bolt is the cheapest, they say. Write down this tip. In France, the service charge is usually included. It says service compris on the menu, right? If the waiter is friendly, leave €1 or 2 as a tip. When you go to a wine shop, you tend to choose only expensive ones, right? Locals buy wine at Carrefour or Monoprix. If you choose a wine with the AOC or AOP label, you're less likely to be disappointed. For Bordeaux wine, choose one between 8 and €15.
Ciao! When you think of Italy, what comes to mind? Pizza, pasta, gelato. It's a food paradise. But there's a trap here. It's water. Did you know that you can drink water from the fountains on the streets in Italy? These fountains called Nassoni, number over 2,500 in Rome alone. Locals just carry water bottles and fill them up at the Nassoni. If you buy bottled water at a bar, it's usually €3 to €5. You should save your precious travel funds. Now, the highlight of any trip to Italy, pizza. But it feels like a waste of money to eat pizza at a restaurant packed with tourists, right? Here's how to find a real local pizza place. Look for places that don't have English menus at the entrance. And in Florence or Rome, if a pizza costs more than 8 to €12, it's considered expensive, so keep that in mind. There are places that sell pizza by the slice, called Pizza al Taglio, which are cheap and much tastier. Finally, the City of Water, Venice. A gondola ride starts at €80. But locals use a water bus called a vaporetto instead of gondolas. Here's a tip to ride a gondola for half the price. Ride with multiple people. Up to 6 people can ride. So if 6 people ride together, it's much cheaper, right? And if you buy a 24-hour ticket for €20, you can use the gondola, water bus and bus unlimitedly, so keep that in mind. Hola, the passionate country of Spain. A dish you can't miss in Spain, paella. Have you seen people eating paella on Las Ramblas Street? No, you haven't. Because it's a tourist trap. Many places use frozen seafood. I recommend Can Sol, a local favorite. It's a century-old seafood paella restaurant. Spanish people eat lunch at 2 or 3 o'clock and dinner after 9 o'clock. If you go before then, it's all tourists. So keep that in mind. Guten Tag, the land of beer, Germany. When you go to Germany, you have to drink your fill of beer. But if you drink at a pub, it's not cheap. German beer is much cheaper to buy at the supermarket than at a pub. If you go to a supermarket like Riawi or Edeka, there are tons of beer varieties and the prices are much lower. And it's legal to drink beer in parks in Germany. Buying beer and drinking it in the park is the real German style. You want a beer recommendation? Polana, Augustina. Be sure to try these 3. And something to be careful of when traveling in Germany. Fare dodging. German subways don't have ticket gates, so you can just walk in, but they're very strict about fare dodging. If you get caught, the fine is €60. You must buy a ticket, and if you've bought a ticket, you have to stamp it in the yellow machine at the platform. Don't forget. Hello, the gentlemanly country of England. But the exchange rates are not very gentlemanly. Especially the exchange offices at the airport or near tourist spots are the worst. The fees are high and they give you a bad exchange rate. The best way to go to England is to use a travel card like Revolut. You get a good exchange rate and low fees. If you need cash, it's cheapest to withdraw it directly from a bank ATM. And here's a tip to save on transportation costs when traveling in London. It's cheaper to use contactless payment with a regular credit card than to top up an Oyster card for the London Underground. You'll only be charged up to £7.70 a day, so you can ride all day without any extra charges.
Finally, when travelling from London to other cities, it's much cheaper to take a bus from Victoria Coach Station than a train. Almost half the price. It takes a little longer, but it's much cheaper, so keep that in mind. So today we learned about European travel tips together. What did you think? If you use these tips well, your European trip will be much cheaper and more convenient. In the next video, I'll be back with more useful and fun travel information. Please like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.